I can't believe this! How could I be so foolish? Little devils! I am not going to let this shake my composure!
Alright guys, welcome to another Storm Connections video. And have you ever wondered why we don't see more Storm tournaments for either Storm 4 or announcements for Storm Connections? Well, I think we got our answer with this developer interview. Now shout out to Playco for bringing this to my attention, because I only saw it when he posted about it. I'll read out the quote from the interview. So the developers were asked by the interviewer, so in terms of competitiveness, how do you prepare for esports aspects for, the Storm games, Storm Connections primarily? And they said, as an official esports competition, we don't plan anything. So they haven't got anything planned currently. And the reasons for this is because the game is not a competitive game. So this is the devs basically saying, CC2, they don't view the Storm series as competitive games, or you can just single it out to Naruto Connections. They do not view it as a competitive game. There are competitive players in the game, so they acknowledge that there are players that play the game competitively. So, the Gezzers, the Zuis, the Boroshikis, the Playcos, they acknowledge you guys. But for them, it's more about people who enjoy the Naruto story. So, the anime, the manga, the game story, and enjoy playing as their favorite characters. So that's what they're focusing on. They're focusing on people, in another way, casuals who enjoy the Naruto story and playing as their favorite characters. So that's why they're always marketing the big roster, because it's more appeal to those people that enjoy playing as their favorite characters, because there's more chance to get to play as their favorite characters. And they said this game, so Naruto Connections, the game is more aimed at casual Naruto game fans. Casual Naruto game fans. So fans that don't play it competitively or don't take it too seriously or play the games for fun. And yes, so they double down on it. And yes, we are not planning any esports competitions. So currently they're not planning any esports competitions. Now they have done official tournaments in the past, primarily Naruto Storm 4. They did a tournament for that season 1, but they never did it again. That's where you saw players like Afro Senju playing, and Sanin Slayer won the tournament. And I think Traitor was in that tournament as well. So shout out to those folks. But yeah, so this upset a lot of the community. I'm gonna go through the Twitter posts in a moment. But yeah, my opinion on it currently is it's disappointing. I think with how people supported the Naruto competitive scene, Kuyon, me, Ichunka, Traitor, Biscuit, and then Globeku with Ultimate Bros. Those are just a few of the main players, but there were definitely a lot more. And then obviously the sponsors that we had at the tournaments as well, and how the spectators have been supporting it, the players have been supporting it. We've come together as a community to, make rule sets for the tournaments, and now there's a standardized rule sets for official community tournaments. Like, a lot of people were disappointed because we hoped that when CC2 saw how much we supported the game, bro, the game is 7 years old and we're still getting first tens. People are still hyped for it. And like, we've got, Boro and Izui coming up. People are still hyped for it. And we had recently a themed PTS tournament. Shout out to Cactus for sponsoring that. Shout out for David coming through. But yeah, 7 years later, people are still supporting us. I believe people thought, once CC2 see this, once Bandai sees this, they're gonna support it in official capacity. They have to. They've seen how the community, primarily the competitive community, have kept the game alive. The players and the content creators. They're gonna support it. So when they see this, people are like, bro, this feels like a slap in the face. Why are you not supporting it? If the community is going so hard for your game, 7 years later, why you as a developer or a company are not supporting it? Obviously, we don't know the reasons. I mean, they stated one, they're concentrating on the casual audience, which is fair. That's where a lot of their profit margins come through, the casual audience. That's the reason why we can even get sequels, is because the casuals buy the game day one, support it with in-game transactions, DLC, costumes, all of that. So that's what they're focusing on, especially because they've already announced their DLC plans. So it makes sense. That's how they keep their families fed and all of that. The competitive scene is very, very small populace compared to the casuals. It makes sense, but people still wanted to see official support in the esports aspects, which makes sense. And I don't think this matters, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as a community, we've been supporting the game competitively, whether CC2 has been supporting us with balance patches or official tournaments. Naturally, I would love to see more official tournaments, but we're still gonna keep the game thriving. We're still gonna support it competitively. Me and Poison Okami, we're gonna put you on the tech. I'm gonna highlight the competitive scene as I've been doing, thanks to you guys' support. So shout out to you guys for that one. Like, it doesn't really matter. We're still gonna do what we're gonna do in it. It doesn't matter what their stance on it is. We're gonna create our own competitive scene. Yeah, come on. So I would like to go over with you guys what other creators and people have said about the interview. So Glopo has said this has been their official stance since the start. It's a cop out when things are broken, especially when this game's business plan is to sell you DLC. DLC is not gonna be for those who enjoy the Naruto story, quote unquote. It's characters for your broken multiplayer. Now I agree with him. Like, you're not gonna use DLC characters and go back to the story. A majority of people are gonna use it for the online modes, and it's a shame that we're lacking in online features. We're not going to be able to invite our friends, and it's only going to be ranked and casual matches. Like, it's a really lackluster online experience, especially when compared to previous entries like Generations, Storm 3 especially. Those had all those features day one. And then he was saying this has been their official stance since the start. So, it allows them to not get blamed for broken stuff, even though they still do balance the game to a certain extent. When they release new characters, they do issue balance patches. I just wish they were more dedicated to balancing the game. And then I had a conversation with Gloku separately. He was wondering why people were upset with this stance, even though it has been like this from the start. And the reason why people were upset is because they expected it to change with how the competitive scene has been brought to light and it's been covered, especially in Storm 4. My goodness. People thought, okay, maybe CC2 will change their stance, but it hasn't happened, and it kind of crushed people's dreams, especially competitive players, which makes sense, and the spectators that like to watch the competitive scene. So next up is Mr. Poison Okami, Mr. 14K. I heard people are calling him Goat Kami these days, but he said it's unfortunate to see that connections may not be intended for competitive play, but alongside Playco, so alongside what Playco said, I'll be working hard to show everyone the good competitive atmosphere the game has. It's good to see competitive players are acknowledged at the end of the day. Couldn't have said it better myself. I said that earlier in the video, didn't I? You got Playco and the Evo team working to show the competitive aspect of the Storm series. Obviously, you got Poison with his content, and he also plays and showcases Evo and markets the mod. And obviously, you got me as the commentator, as your Storm 4 game master, as your competitive host. Who's gonna win this? Ooh! Oh my days. Okay, gonna affirm the Daedra birds. Didn't want to burn that sub. Fair enough, I respect it. Again, the tilt coming in. Clutch reads the dash. One hit jutsu buffer into stylish ultimate jutsu. Cancel the optimal style combo. Let's go. Oh my days. Jeez Louise. Oh. And he did all that just before Poison got a sub back. Oh my days. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Obviously, I'm going to put you guys on the competitive content. How can I not? We all have so much love for the game, so it's just natural. It's a no-brainer, and you're going to feel it through our content if you haven't already. But yeah, just, bro, stay tuned to all of us, man. Stay tuned. So now we're going to go over Senju's tweet. He said, wasted potential, honestly. Storm could have been competitive esports a long time ago, and they had every chance to do so. So now it's just a waste. I mean, they still have the chance in it. It's going to be up to us to promote it again. Obviously, we now know that if they don't, they've already said it. But, hopefully they change their mind in it. But all you can do is try. But I 100% agree with his statement. It is wasted potential. Storm could have been competitive from Storm 4. The amount of depth that the switch mechanics added, like, bro, if they just balanced it like how they did in Connections during the Storm 4's lifespan, especially during those first couple months, we could have been seeing it at Evo. Trust me, bro. Trust me. If they actually provided proper, quality balance patches like the Evo team have done, bro, it could have been competitive. Storm competitive would have started from Storm 4, because that's when the skill floor was lowered, but the skill ceiling was at its highest. So it's easy to pick up, hard to master, and that's what you want for every fighting game, bro. Oh my days. But yeah, 100% agree with this statement. Alright, Kage says, honestly, what arena fighter is actually esports ready? None of them are balanced enough to take it 100% seriously. Always has some junky stuff, and that's why it's casual friendly. Now, yeah, he's right. A lot of arena fighters do have junky slash janky stuff. You know, Demon Slayer and Retro Storm 4, they aren't exceptions. Of course, it's not esports ready. That's why we have rule sets in place. But it can get there. Like, bro, the fact that we can use rule sets or not use rule sets, but you still see the potential when you've got people doing tournaments or first to tens, shows that the potential is there. That's why we need the developers and the publishers to actually support the competitive scene. Because even without the support, people are still supporting it. And you can see the potential there, bro. Here's an example.
ゾーン余計な思考感情が全てなくなりプレイに没頭する極限の集中状態練習に練習を重ねた者だけがその扉の前に立つことを許されるそれは選ばれた者しか入れない究極の領域
Round 1 Fight!
It's adapt or die, man, especially against Boroshiki. Bro, did you see how much Kashirama's combo buff attracts on the wake up? Yeah, Boroshiki has the advantage here. Bill's defense isn't even as good as it. That chakra dash cancel. Bill's defense isn't even as good as it was at the first match. Yeah, it's done, bro. This is so beyond done. Like, jeez Louise. Oh my goodness gracious me. It's done, bro. It's done. He's getting a perfect! He's getting a perfect! Oh no, you're lying! No, you can't do him like this! You can't do him like this! No! No! You're lying! You're lying! Don't get wrapped up like this! Don't get wrapped up like this! You're lying! No way he gets the perfect! No!
Perfect! That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Done! Now the final tweet that we're going to go over is my guy Jugan, you know, the truther. You know, when he says something, he's always speaking facts, bro. So he says the competitive community is the centerpiece. Man said the centerpiece. He got out the dictionary for this one, yeah? Of the insane lifespan of these games. And this is wild disrespectful, yeah? You hop online on Storm 4 as a non-expert, me, so Jogan's talking, and you're getting stomped. He's speaking facts. Casuals get bored fast. It's facts. That's why you'll see it with multiverses or, you know, any competitive fighter. There's that high peak that they have in the first month, then it drops off because the casuals are bored and they look to the next thing, while the competitive players that see the fun or the skill ceiling in the game, they stay supporting it. 7 years later, bro, 7 years later, and Storm is still doing good. The eternal Storm never dies. So Jogon, well said, bro, well said. But that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you think of the developer thoughts slash this interview slash what people have said. Do you think this matters? Are you gonna be supporting the competitive scene? Are you gonna be tuning in to me, Poison Okami, and the rest of the other content creators? Let me know. And if you want to see the beauty of competitive Storm offline, check out me and Poison's fight on the screen. But peace out, guys. See you in the next video, and don't forget, let's get stronger together.